Are you sure you want to talk about him? I've accepted that there is no future for us. What I felt for Johnny was a childhood crush. A crush? The truth was, Katherine had loved Mary Beth's twin brother Johnny for as long as she could remember. For years she held out hope for a chance, however small, however remote. She had clung to that dream as if she were drowning and it was her only lifeline. But not anymore. She sat straight in the chair, brightened her smile, and said, "What's going on with him?" "He's been acting different." "What do you mean?" "Distant. Partly because he's been working so many hours at the buggy shop. Mom says she barely sees him except for church service. He leaves early in the morning and comes home late, but when he's around, he's quiet." "That doesn't sound like him," Katherine said. "Do you think he's keeping something from your family?" Something or someone? Despite Katherine's vow not to care, her heart constricted again at the thought. "I don't know." Mary Beth's brown eyes had lost the warmth they'd held moments ago. "He's becoming like a stranger to me, to all of us. We've drifted apart." Her smile faded. "Like you and I have." Katherine shook her head in protest. "You know I'm always here for you." Tears welled in Mary Beth's eyes. Katherine drew back. "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry." "I'm always crying." Mary Beth wiped her eyes. "It makes Chris a pimcop. Hormones, I'm sure." She sniffed, wiping her eyes. "I'm glad we're still best friends." Katherine hugged Mary Beth. "We always will be." Johnny Mullet put his hands on his hips and surveyed his new property. 4 acres, a small house, and an even smaller barn. All his. The sad little farm didn't look like much, but by the time he finished fixing everything up, no one would recognize it. He glanced at the empty pasture on the left side of the house. Tall grass, green and dense, swayed against a southerly breeze. He planned to purchase that acreage, too, expand and make his horse farm something he could be proud of. If only Dad could see. At the thought of his father, the grin faded from his face. "Hochmut," his father would say. Pride. The worst character flaw any Amish could have. But was there something wrong with feeling satisfied after hard work, after a job well done? This wasn't about pride. It was about independence, making a good living. He'd seen his family struggle. He didn't want that for his future. A future that, God willing, wouldn't include only him. With the hazy orange sun dipping below the horizon, Johnny hopped into his buggy and headed home. 10 minutes later, he arrived at his parents' house. He was late for supper again. He quickly put up his horse and hurried into the house, sliding into his seat just as his father closed his eyes for grace. After prayer, his mother passed his father a platter of ham. He speared a slice with his fork, peering at Johnny as he did. "Long day at work again?" Johnny picked up a roll from the basket on the table. He drew in a deep breath. "Nay." "Then why are you late?" "I bought a farm." Silence. Johnny glanced around the table. Caleb's mouth dropped open, and Micah's fork was poised in midair. Even 6-year-old Eli gave him a funny look. "You what?" His mother's eyes went wide with shock. "You know that house down the road a piece? The one with the barn in the back?" "You mean that shack?" Caleb shook his head. Micah scooped up a forkful of green beans. "Calling it a shack is a stretch." Their father cleared his throat. The boys ducked their heads and kept eating. He turned to Johnny. "When did you do this?" "Signed the paperwork yesterday." "Where did you get the money?" He was already tired of the 3rd degree, but he had expected no less. "Savings. From my job at Gideon Bender's."